I'm still Kevin Walker, and I'm still hosting the meeting, so that hasn't changed. In case you thought, like, how can we get out of this? So we have a nice evening, nice show prepared for you, and I think when all is said and done, that you'll agree that this will have been some of the most pleasurable 9.5 hours you've spent in recent memory. So we can all just sort of relax and get to know each other a little bit better. Got a fine array of things lined up for us today. We are going to have a bunch of videos produced by Paul Bisson. Oh, sorry, that's Paul K. Bisson, so as not to confuse him with the other Paul Bisson. We're going to meet with the executive director of SATV, the chairman of the board of SATV. We'll have an election. There are 3 seats to be filled on the board. They're filled currently, but this is what we're going to do here, the whole election process. And so people will come up, we'll meet the candidates, they'll get to speak. We'll do that. Then we're going to have a financial report from our treasurer, and depending upon what he tells us, we may then have a collection. So in all, we'll get to hit all sorts of points. At this point, I would like to introduce the board of directors, and as I said, we can't get enough applause, so we'll just go through. Well, first we'll start with the chairman of the board, while I crunch my papers, Mr. Charles Walsh. The treasurer, Sumner Jones. The secretary, I'll deal with the officers first, I didn't skip you. J. Michael Sullivan. Linda Vaughn. Tom Green, who's just not with us tonight. Paul K. Bisson, who is on assignment, and no, exactly. If I was Paul, I wouldn't exactly know how to take that. And yours truly, Kevin Walker, I'm also proud to say I am a board member. Now that we've all established, excuse me?
Ken Weaver.
Oh, Ken Weaver, sorry. He was supposed to be seated right there. You know, well, he's on assignment. I did remember that one. See, I wasn't paying attention and you weren't paying attention, so we took
He's
turns.
got the camera behind you.
I went through that list of board people at least 50 times, and there was that voice going, you'll forget someone. I'm like, how can I forget somebody? Jack Nutting is the other one that I thought I would forget. They're not here, out of sight. So let's review. Sumner Jones, Linda Vaughn, J. Michael Sullivan, Charles Walsh, Paul Bisson, Kevin Walker, Jack Nutting, Tom Green, and Ken Weaver. Yeah, so thank you. That was just painful for all of us. We're going to, at this time, watch our first video clip called Roll In the business, but I want to keep it loose and more in the vernacular. So Dave, how are we doing in there? You all right? Okay, then if you would, please push the appropriate button.
It's great to have a website regardless of what kind of business or organization you are, but if it doesn't give people the information they're looking for, it's useless. People go to SATV's website, they want to know about membership, training, what's going to be on the channels, the program schedule, maybe some frequently asked questions. It gives the people what they're looking for, and it's easy to find. If somebody doesn't want to make a phone call, or if there's nobody in the office and somebody has a question, it's right there. You know, most people can access a computer and access the website fairly easily. They want to know what's on channel 16 tomorrow at 4 p.m. There it is. It's right there. If they're looking for a specific program, they can look it up. There it is, right away. You don't have to make a phone call, and you can do that at 2 in the morning if you want to.
Ease of navigation and quality of content are the 2 keys to any website. Never give a user more than 7 choices on a page. We took a look at all of the content that was on SATV and put it into 7 buckets, organizing it into categories that made sense. I think the next step for the website will be bringing more video online, whether it be just more information about the facility and some of the stuff that's going on here, or even maybe featuring some of the programs that folks are doing in-house, and so people can come and check it out online, and if they're interested, maybe get involved.
I'd like to see members connecting via the website a little bit more than what they do now, maybe a blog setup or something like that. We're always trying to get members to network with each other as well, so that they can help each other out with productions and that kind of thing. So that might be another way that people can get together.
I love designing graphics. I love learning code. I like seeing what's new out there and learning about the new technologies. And
the traffic has gone up for the most part, month to month to month to month. More and more people are using our website almost every month.
Great work. Thank you, Paul. Now we begin the question and answer time. Everyone here is invited to ask questions. You can ask at any time. There's Karen, our floor manager, has the mic. So if you feel inspired to do so, we'll segment the part. But if there's something that comes up right at the moment that you just want to know, please raise your hand. This is television. If you just talk without a microphone in front of you, it's as good as we can't hear you. I know it's not Twilight Zone, we can't hear you in here, but it's not going out to what we're here for. So I want to start off by introducing once again the chairman of the board, Charlie Walsh, who is, I think, one of the happiest men I've ever met.
Thank you.
There's even back a couple of years ago, he wasn't feeling well, and he's like practically walking around with his spleen in a golf bag, and he's still laughing and asking you first how you're doing. So again, welcome to the proceedings.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll start off by how long have you been on the board, and how long have you been chairman?
I've been chairman now for
2 years.
3 years. I read upon my man here. 3 years, and I've been on the board for 10, 11 years?
I've only been here for 5, so I
think
can't
I think I've been on for 11 years.
Yeah. Well,
It's one of those positions that once you get it, you apparently inherit it, and you hope that somebody will come along and take your place, but I really enjoy it.
well, and we're not hoping for that anytime soon. Yeah. But now, you were a principal in the Salem school system,
Yes, for 35 years.
and at one school, or
No, I had, over the 35 years, I had 5 schools. And at time, I had 2 or 3 schools at a time.
oh,
At that time, they couldn't afford secretaries, so I used to use my custodian to get in the car, follow me around to the schools, get the information, come back, type it up, and send it out. It's a little bit different today. You have to have a principal in every single school. There were a lot of little schools in Salem at that time. My big school at the time was the Carlton School, which I refused to leave when they wanted me to take over the Bentley by myself. But I said, no, give it to the young guy. I'll stay here. Because I enjoy being with kids.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, yes, that leads back to the board. But I wanted to ask you, is there anybody?
Well, they are kids at heart.
Is there anybody in here tonight that was one of your students?
If they were, I probably don't recognize them at that point. I'm 78 now, and I don't think I've had anybody here. Maybe this guy here. Oh, son of a gun.
Well,
I don't think I had Mike.
that ties into what you alluded to inadvertently about the board. Have you ever been in a situation in the board where you're either using some of your principal skills or wishing that, or thinking that, okay, I might have to trot something out here?
It is different when you have women on the board.
Oh, here we go.
You have to be a little bit, careful of what you say, and also how you handle them. A woman, we are lucky though. The women we have had on the board, and we have presently, are very forward, very enlightening, very intelligent, and very willing to share their knowledge. And we take their knowledge and we encompass it in what we know, and we come up with the final answer as to solutions that we have to have citywide for anything that goes on at SATV. And I appreciate all of their efforts. And at this particular time, I'd like to say a couple of things about a couple of people who cannot serve on the board anymore. Michael, who happens to be the recording secretary, and I'm hoping whoever comes on the board, or I know whoever comes on the board will take over his place as the recording secretary, has been really an excellent choice by you people in the past to become part of our group. He's contributed to every meeting in a very intelligent way, and also striving to make us a better operation. Tom Green, who unfortunately has to give it up too for personal reasons, has been a producer-director for quite a while with us, and I feel bad that he has to give it up, and it really bothers him too, but he just can't physically do what he wants to do anymore, and he felt it wasn't fair to the board. So I'd like to thank you people very much for what you've done for the board. And we're looking forward to the people who come on the board to being that type of a person, full of vim, vigor, vitality. Don't be afraid. You know, contribute.
That just blew the audio.
Yeah,
I'd like to also second that as well, that Tom Green and Mike Sullivan have been very strong contributors, participators, and it has just made the board that much better. So you will be sorely missed. When you can come back, please do so.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Now that brings me to the next board-related question is, what is the function of the board to the overall operation of SATV? And
Well, we set the policy. We have a policy guide. And thanks to our director, we have very specific rules and regulations for everything that happens here. But the general overall policy in our group when we meet is deciding the amount of money we have to deal with every year, what we can reasonably do, how to get more people to be a part of our group, and then to join in us and join the group. It is not easy to get everybody to pay close attention to SATV. Some people can't afford the cost of it. But for the most part, most people who do watch it don't really understand all the working behind it. So it's our job to inform the public about what's going on, why it's valuable to everybody, what you can contribute to it, how easy it is to become a part of it. And once you really become a part of it, you become a part of a great group of people because you all contribute to each other. If you're a director or producer or whatever small part you want to make, you become an integral part of the whole picture. And to me, that's the most important product.
Well, it reminds me of a saying I heard years ago, which is, if you associate with good people, you'll increase their number. And I think in my experience, nothing makes that truer than the experiences I've had and I've heard of people having
I agree. Yeah.
in this organization.
Yeah.
So there isn't, say, as much on the day-to-day basis.
No, the day-to-day basis is really taken care of by our director and the people that work for the director, David and Patrick and the other David. We have a David who's kind of a secret David who takes care of a lot of our TV stuff. And
Well, you know, I have to interrupt because another thing that I forgot of all the times I went through this is I wanted to introduce the staff at SATV because, and I chose this moment though actually because it was Schroeder. To, as you bring it up, the members are truly the lifeblood of
Absolutely.
the organization.
Yes.
But well, as no anatomy. The nuts and bolts people, the people that are there to assist, to instruct, to aid, to inspire, what your word there. And they do just a terrific job. So this is more uproarious applause, and this is not milk. Executive Director Sal Russo. We did a search for Sal a number of years ago, which I'll ask him about the time. But we could not have asked for a better person to come in and not just take over, but just really run things without being an overbearing presence, which is just great in a situation like this. Also in the control room is the program director, David Gauthier. The training and production coordinator, Patrick Kennedy.
right?
Production assistant, Andrew Fritz. And then as Charlie was alluding to, there's a guy who does so much in this organization, and it's the things that are essential in a modern production facility as well as any modern office. This guy does more than I think any of us really know. That I was thinking earlier that if we all could take the ideas of what we thought that this fella did and we could put them in a pile, it might be about a third of what he'd do before lunch. So I would like to wreck the joint over acknowledging David Moisen, the IT coordinator. Now,
You know, little did I know, when I knew David Moisten as a little boy, he happened to be one of my students in the Carleton School.
See, there you go.
And because of that, as I saw him grow up and so forth, and then when I came down here and saw him in charge of a very sophisticated situation we have here with computers and so forth, he amazed me at the knowledge that he had, and he had gained a lot of it on his own. So I really have to congratulate David on his ability to integrate all this information into himself and become a very, what would we say, indispensable part of our group here. So thanks a lot, David.
Integral and indispensable, absolutely.
Now, going back to the board, just sort of a question. What would you think was the most difficult, either phase, single decision, series of decisions within one process, one series of events? The most challenging, trying, complex. Pick one.
Oh boy. Well, the most challenging thing sometimes I think is when the board has to deal with a personality who doesn't quite fit into the whole picture, who may want to take over the system or feels that things aren't being running correctly or has their own idea about the way things should be operated. And when it comes before the board, to handle this in a very careful, concise, understanding, human way is not always easy, because you have the board of diverse people who are very upset with this person who's causing a problem with some of the other members. And when you get some of the other members who are upset by what they're doing, you have to understand that there are people who agree with him too. And we have to make those decisions as to how best handle that situation. So that I find to be most difficult.
Mm-hmm. Now, going with the members, what impact do or can the members have? Whereas, are the meetings open? Can members attend any of the board meetings?
Yeah, as everybody knows, we meet the third Wednesday of every single month, except for, what is it, June?
December.
July?
December and August.
December. December and August. We don't meet during those months, but we always meet the third Wednesday of every month. And those meetings are open to the public, by the way. You can come in and sit down and listen to the meetings and contribute if the chairman recognizes you at that time.
The public meeting members?
Yeah, public meeting members, yeah. So it's always open. The only time we would not have it open is if we were discussing a personality, a specific thing about an individual, which really is private to that individual and the board. Then it would be a closed part. But other than that, minutes are taken of all the meetings. They're available to the public. Sal keeps a record of everything that takes place there. So it's always, we're always glad to have everybody come. Doesn't matter. You know.
And I would take it an extension there that members can can send in questions. They don't have to be at the meeting. They can send in questions.
Yeah, you
that
can
could
do
be
it through the website, or you can call in and have whoever tells the phone that you want to leave a message about you have a question for the board. Just leave it at the desk, or bring it in yourself, write it and bring it in.
Right. I think it would be best to mention the questions should be in writing.
Right.
So as we
they
don't
have
get
to be.
they don't get the telephone game that by the time the
Otherwise, it would become a game as to what I really said.
right. Yeah. So it needs to be in writing. I believe emails work as well.
Yeah.
They can send it to me as well.
Yes.
What's the email address, by the way?
satv.org. No, it's not
Well,
Cove
it
anymore.
depends on who you're sending it to. If you're sending it to me, it's sal@satvonline.org. If you're sending it to David, David G, Patrick K, satvonline.org.
Oh, I see a
So,
pattern emerging.
yeah, we have a
Everybody have that?
So, you can get it off our website as well, which is satvonline.org. So to contact us is very easy.
Right.
And just another addition is if you need to get information to the board, it has to be in writing. You can choose to either put it in an enclosed envelope, seal it, hand it to me. I will hand it to the board at a meeting, and they will address whatever issues or problems, questions you might have. Or you could get it to the board directly yourself. So, I mean, it's easy to get a hold of the board. As I tell every member, this is a democracy, so you have choices, you have alternatives.
Great. Well, I think at this point, we'll, unless you have something that I missed
Well,
or
you've
interrupted
covered
you on.
everything, I think, unless these people have a question.
Yeah, we throw it open to any questions from our group of friends here. And so I'll take that as a no.
That little redhead doesn't have a question? No? Okay.
So while they're doing that, I'll mention so that
Oh,
the
there we
guys in
go.
the room. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Chuck Barth, you were talking about your board meeting. You said it's the third Wednesday of every month. You didn't say what time or where.
Oh, I'm sorry. The meeting starts at 6:30 on Wednesday evening in the conference room in the front of the building. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Every third Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the guys in the booth a little warning. We're coming up on the treasurer's report. They're scrambling around inside. I just saw Dave dive. I've never seen him move like that. So, we have another question over here.
Hi, my question is, if you are a part of a nonprofit organization, do you need to be a member of Salem Access TV as well if you wanted to either do a link or a blog so that information regarding that organization would be accessible to Salem Access TV as well?
You mean if you wanted to put a link to your website?
Right.
That is something that can be done and discussed with Dave Gauthier, who's the webmaster here, because we do have links that are on the website. I mean, your organization, you can supply us with bulletin board information, which we can put on the community bulletin board if you have events coming up, so on and so forth. So it's doable, and you don't have to be really in Salem to do that. We have surrounding city and town information as well.
Thank you.
You mentioned the bulletin
Well, we
board.
can't hear you. Sorry.
Over here.
And as Karen approaches,
You mentioned the bulletin board. Can you explain how people get information on the bulletin board?
Yes, the bulletin board is simply community information. If you're having a yard sale for a benefit, an event for a particular organization, all it is you can email it to info@satvonline.org, email it to any one of the staff. You can mail it to SATV, snail mail, just Attention Community Bulletin Board. You can drop it off and hand it to any staff member. So, you know, the only thing we don't want you to do is call us and read it to us over the phone. So any other way, you can even fax it to us as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
more? This is sort of fun. Okay, yes, the microphone. And once again, as Karen approaches, hands off the microphone.
Yes, as a show editor, we do have a show on one day during the week. And I was wondering, is there a way to find out how our show is doing, if we have other people watching and things like that? We do networking, and we do get some feedback. Somebody might recognize us around town. But is there a way, generally through the website of anything, for us to know how our show is actually doing, how many watches we actually have?
At this particular time, there's really not a definitive way to know that. When we get into the next phase of SATV, which we'll probably talk about later, when there's server capability, then we will have hard numbers, because it's basically accessing a computer which you can tell how many hits you have, how long somebody has stayed on the program. So then you have some real numbers. You may not know exactly who it might be, obviously. But the way in public access I try to encourage the members that when you don't get any negative feedback, that's a great thing. So that's public access in a nutshell. If it's smooth and you don't get a lot of negative feedback or any, that's a good thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, good question. Back row.
My name is Dan Tremblay. I'm a member. Question I want to ask is, I've been hearing over the last year or so that there's talk among local community access stations, including Lynn, for instance, where there's some kind of a plan for a network to be developed over the next few years where instead of myself going out and bicycling or taking DVDs of my shows to 22 cable systems at 9 delivery points, this association in this area would carry 4 or 5 cable systems where people's programming could even get that much more of a bigger audience. Has there been talk on the board or anywhere around here about that type of thing in terms of progress?
I haven't heard anything.
I have not heard anything regarding networking of interconnections of public access facilities. I find that to be extremely difficult to be able to do because the distribution locations for access centers are in different areas. Some do have common locations. Our distribution center is in Lynn. We are connected to Lynn. I think Swampscott is. I think Malden might be. The only way you could get commonality is if you got that kind of system working, and that's not that easy to do. A simpler way to make it happen is that you get the public access facilities to talk to one another to accept import programming easily. We accept import programming relatively simple. It's a matter of filling out the proper programming form and we'll get it on the air. Our resident produced program has priority, but we will eventually get your program on the air. And that's the easiest way to network. I don't know if there's an answer for what you actually asked, but that's up to the cable providers such as RCN, Comcast, Verizon. If they're going to create a network system between their distribution centers and facilities, I don't see how that's going to happen. That's just, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, well, moving on, we'll have time for a few more questions for Sal when we talk with some of the directly day-to-day related issues. And I think David's up again, and he's all dusted off and ready to go. And I'd like to welcome Sumner Jones, Treasurer, for the financial report of 2007.
Well, welcome everyone here in the studio and at home. I'm very pleased to give the financial report for 2007. We have a fiscal year that ends September 30th, 2007, and that's the period covered by most of this report, with one small exception. So you have in front of you on the screen the income for the year. Compared to 2006, you'll see the contribution line. Now, we call it contribution, but what that really is the contractual obligation of Comcast to the city of Salem in supporting public access. The city negotiates a 10-year contract, or at least in the past it's been a 10-year contract with Comcast. I believe we're in the 4th year of that contract. And part of it is the amount of money which Comcast will provide to SATV for its operating budget. And that's the $270,000 you see there. We get that money in pieces, and we get other monies from other sources, and that money earns interest, which is the next line. And then the other line is anything that we raise from contributions to sales of tapes and so forth. So we increased revenue in 2007 modestly, and we're happy with that. Now, what did we do with that money? That's the next slide, if we can have that. A lot of it goes to salary and benefits. The staff was introduced. They are absolutely crucial to the mission of SATV, and they do like to get paid, and we do pay them, which is the salary and benefits line. We do rent this facility, and that's the rent line. And you can, I'm not going to go through the others, other than to mention depreciation. Depreciation jumped a lot in 2007 from 2006. That's because in 2006 we made substantial renovations to the studio and added, replaced a lot of equipment and added new equipment, and now we're depreciating that. That's a big expense. There's a lot of expensive equipment here. I think you get a sense of that with the cameras, the control room, and the monitors and so forth. The next slide shows our profit and loss. We take depreciation out of this because depreciation is an accounting entry. It's not a cash item. And we did make a small profit in '07. It is not our intent to make a profit. What we want to do is take our financial resources and invest them in the programs of SATV, and we've done that, I think, pretty successfully over the years. We don't want to lose money either. We want this to be managed properly, and Sal and his staff have always done a terrific job in keeping the expenses and the income in line, and you can see that by this exhibit. You'll also notice on the bottom something that says cash reserves. In addition to the operating revenue that we get from Comcast, we also get periodic contributions of capital or additions to our capital account. That's what the cash reserves are down below, mostly capital that we have available to invest in equipment and the studio. The next exhibit shows what we did with that capital money in 2007. The most significant expenditure was to re-equip the school committee meeting chambers with mics and cameras. I think a very important part of the mission of SATV is to bring public meetings home so that people can sit in their living room or wherever and be part of their local government and understand what's going on. And I think that's just so crucial to our mission. And that certainly includes the school committee, and we made a major investment in that facility so that the quality of the programming from there would be as good as it could be, and people could really get a sense of what's going on there. There were some other relatively minor expenditures related to the studio itself, which you see there. So going back to a comment that was made at the beginning, we don't need to pass the plate this year. The organization is in sound shape financially and poised to continue its mission in the year and hope years ahead. So that's my report, and I thank you.
I'd just like to say something that Sumner, from the beginning, when this first started, was on the board. And he really has kept a close eye on the expenses that we, have every year. But he's also very involved in making sure that how we spend the money is a worthwhile effort, and that we try to spend it on the people that are so important to keep this thing going, but also trying to bring in other groups. It's up to you people really to talk to the people you work for, to the people you interact with, to say, come on down. Join as a group. Get your company to come down. Get 5 or 6 people from the company together, form your group, get trained, and then have your own program. Whatever it wants to be. You can have any type of a program that you really want if you feel desirous of having something very important, whether it's political, educational, social, so forth. So we really depend upon you people to go out there as a broadcast member and say, come on, be part of our group. Join us and enjoy it.
Yeah, you're only limited really by, I guess, libel laws and the obscenity statutes of Salem.
That's true, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but
But I want
Thank
to
you.
thank Sumner for all the work he's put into it.
Yes, and another good job. I would like to, at this juncture, ask Dave, who is at the ready, to please press the appropriate button for our next roll-in, which has to do with Channel 3, 15, and 16, and the technology in the school committee that Sumner alluded to. So, David, please.
Sometimes we struggle with the identity of SATV. People always knew Channel 3, but they may not have realized that Channel 15 and or Channel 16 were also coming from the same place. If you're looking for things related to local city government, you tune into Channel 16. If you're looking for something related to schools here in Salem, you go to 15. And pretty much everything else falls under the umbrella of Channel 3. That's part of my job, is to figure out where these things go. Channel 3 is the widest area of programming. It's the biggest realm. So you can really fit anything into Channel 3's programming. Really anything we do is public access. You know, if you look at it in that traditional definition. Any municipal meeting, say if there's a special meeting, the Commission on Disabilities goes on Channel 16. Election coverage always goes on Channel 16. That's where people should be looking for. Election results, whether they're electronically or live coverage. Political interview shows like Leo Joden, Salem Now, and George Ahmed's Inside Salem. Even On the Road with Salem Now, which really is a public access show because it really has very little to do with government. But it makes sense for people who follow Leo to look for Leo on Channel 16. I house all of the school programming on Channel 15. Although, you know, a school play may not be necessarily educational, it came from a school. So to me, just because, you know, we have the space there, and usually a school play might be, you know, 2 hours long, I may not have the space on Channel 3. So it's easy to house all that stuff on Channel 15. And over the past years, past 5 or 6 years, we've sort of gotten residents used to looking for school plays and school-related things on Channel 15. And that was, you know, that was a goal in itself. To me, it's been a long time coming. I can remember discussing this with, you know, past and present school committee members, or how to improve the coverage of it. To me, it's something that needed to be done, and I'm certainly glad with everything that happened within the school system this year. It's amazing that we got it done just in time. To be able to offer that kind of coverage is amazing.
The word impact is immediate, and I think that's, you know, a wonderful thing. And it's nice when you can do it in a cable access setting. There's a lot of other communities that don't have it, so I think we're very lucky to be able to do that, and I think the community is very lucky to have SATV, you know, bring it to them.
I think it's a great service because, you know, there are plenty of people that are interested that may not be able to get to a meeting. If it's there live on their TV, there you go. They don't have to worry about getting out in the snow, or, you know, if they have any kind of transportation issues, they can watch that meeting live, and they're still as if they're right there. It's pretty state-of-the-art. It's, you know, a 3-camera remote shoot. One operator can run the whole show. Andrew does a great job.
My name's Andrew Fritz. I'm the production assistant here at SATV, and I've been here for 2 years. I'm in charge of taping the school committee meetings and the city council meetings. Basically, any fill-ins where Sal needs me to fill in for any of the staff. I usually work all the weekend hours, and any assistance that I can give to the members. That's usually my job role. It's been a good experience for me. It's been able to help with my production skills. I've had, good feedback from Dave and from Sal that, the meetings have gone well.
It's cool to just do it yourself, all the buttons and all the motions you can make, and being able to handle that whole thing with the 3-camera shoot, graphics and sound and everything going live. One person doing that, it's pretty cool.
I try to make sure I capture the meeting as good a quality as possible, because, there are a lot of people that watch it. That's important to me, because my name, is on at the end, and Salem Access TV's name is on at the end, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, we're always trying to improve. We're always trying to make things better and broaden the program schedules.
Welcome back. Jack Nutting and Ken Weaver. I have to sort of like doing penance. Now we turn our attention next to Executive Director Sal A. Russo, who is actually, he's gone beyond that. He is now Sal V. Russo.
Just call me the mayor of SATV.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, also a proud grandfather now.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Oh, you're too young to be a grandfather.
That's right, but I am.
So how long have you been Executive Director here at the place?
5+ years.
Well,
That
seems
long.
like just, I ask some of these questions, and I have to admit I feel a little silly because I know the answer to them, but
I know,
that's not
but
the whole point of it.
it has gone by very quickly. I can say that with all honesty.
Well, and the same honesty, you're doing a terrific job.
Well, thank you.
So what were you doing before?
I owned my own production company, video production and interactive media company, for about 15 years. Did that for a long time and just decided I didn't want to do clients anymore. I wanted to be with people who wanted to learn. So I saw this job advertised in the Globe and applied, and here I am.
Yes, well, and that worked out well for all of us.
Thank you.
I
Did,
think.
certainly did.
So just off the top, just encapsulated, how much has the equipment changed to go quick timeline from what you started up with and what was the last piece of equipment that you used here?
Well, I've been doing this since 1978, and we were using black and white reel-to-reel tape, videotape, and now we're doing everything digitally, computers. It's leaps and bounds. And just in a year, things change so dramatically. So you always have to stay up on technology, and we try to do that here. I love leading edge. That's how I've been my whole career, so it works well here. And it couldn't be done without a very receptive board as well. So because it takes that kind of connection, discussion to understand that technology. And I think that the board here is very progressive.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And what do you think is the coolest piece of equipment that we have here?
Well, by far the coolest equipment I think that's here are just the portable field equipment, whether it's the HD camcorders or regular digital camcorders in the editing bays with the Macs with iMovie and Final Cut Pro. By far the coolest.
All right, now we sort of talked about this. I gave you a chance to think of it. What do you think is the coolest piece of equipment or part of the facility that you think is the least used?
Well, coolest part too is definitely the control room in the studio, and it could be utilized more, but the reason why it's not is because people now feel very comfortable in grabbing a camcorder, going out in the field, and then putting it into a computer and editing. And then mastering out a program either on tape or DVD. We have a decent percentage in the studio, but I would love to see more people produce in the studio. More people want to learn the studio, because this is a very controlled environment, and you have at your fingertips the capabilities of making it the best you could ever make it, as long as you're willing to put in the hours and the learning.
Right, which is the benefit of the digital era, is that you have it in your capability.
Correct.
You have it there to have a perfect
Correct.
product.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I always noticed, though, about the digital thing, and I'm sure anybody who produces it, it's there that with VHS tape, you put in your source material and you're editing. Now, of course, it's not non-destructive editing with which anybody's ever blown out a time track.
Control
Not
track,
that I've
yeah.
done that, but
We all have.
but it's the one thing for all of the speed of light of digital, you have to capture, and then you have to render. So, but there really is no going back.
Right.
Am I the only one left using analog?
Yeah. Yes.
I still have my analog camera. I don't want to give it up.
Yeah, you still want to use that, what, a Filmo 8mm,
Yeah.
16mm. Have there been any like disappointments? Any things that you really wanted to see happen, that where you were assembling a vision and then it either just didn't work out, or, as you said, the democratic process just went,
Absolutely not.
No?
So far, I think everything that I envisioned has come to happen. So I think that when I first started working here, I realized what the natural progression needed to be. And just working again with the staff, with the board, with the members, and just slowly moving along, everything progresses, because all it takes is just getting the base, the foundation correct, which was all the administrative stuff, and then moving on to everything that's technology. So I think that we're actually ahead of plans, personally. I mean, when I first came here and I looked at the 10-year plan, which was the proposal for the 10-year contract that was in negotiations when I got here, we're already doing much better than that. We're incorporating a lot of better things than were actually in the plan. So I think we're way ahead.
Good to hear. Now, we ask this question every year, but there are always new people coming who are their friends of friends who've come here to visit, or they're tuning in for the first time at home and going, what are these guys talking about? Capitalized version, what is SATV, and why should somebody sitting home right now come in, sign up?
First of all, SATV is a public access facility, which means that anybody who lives, works, attends school, or is affiliated with a Salem organization can come here and join. And they can have access to all this equipment, all the training possible, produce anything they want to produce at any level. It could be simple grassroots program where you just take a camcorder, videotape an event, throw a few titles at the beginning, credits at the end, you have a finished program, or you can get into something like this. Full-blown studio production. We have 5 cameras in here, full lighting, full audience, $100,000 worth of equipment in the control room.
We spent $100,000.
That's the range. You can do it from grassroots to as high polished as you want to get.
All right, well, so just in quick, because I know the floor manager is ready to come over here and kill me, that what are we talking about in cost, just like in a nutshell? Somebody goes out into Boston, goes downtown Boston, they have a video they want to produce, they want to get it on television.
Okay, in a nutshell, if you're doing a grassroots program, you're talking about, like I said, just quick titles, you could probably do that for a few $100s. But if you're talking about a full-blown studio production and you were in Boston going to a production company, this program is going to be about an hour and a half by the time we're done with it. If you count all the roll-ins and everything, you're talking about a $40,000 to $50,000 production. So you have that capability of producing that here for a $25 individual membership.
A year.
$35 family membership for 1 year.
That deserves an infomercial gasp. I was expecting to like,
I mean, it's like we say, you know, SATV is a library. It's a resource. We tell every member in an orientation, use us, don't abuse us. And that works really well because that's what we're here for. We're here for everybody to come, learn, and produce programming because that's what public access is all about. Programming, programming, programming.
And also the inherent, as we said, the sense of community, which is just
Absolutely.
a great
Oh, yeah.
thing because
Absolutely.
you can be the producer, you can be someone's cameraman. Some people
Absolutely.
prefer to do it that way.
Correct.
And as I learned in my own experiences, the more people's vision you incorporate, exponentially the product grows and becomes something that you couldn't even begin to conceive of on your own. And I can say that I've experienced it a couple of times, and it's amazing. We're about to. Do you have any? Are there any questions before I move on? And we have that other uncomfortable. No, I don't know who's going to ask me because we could go around. We could point to people like you, sir. But no. Any last words? Like, where do you see us going in this coming year?
I think the natural progression is upgraded cablecast, which is going to be server-based, and hopefully video on demand down the line, where anybody will be able to go on the web, access programs, on their own. 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So, I mean, that's the natural progression for most public accesses. So.
Excellent. Well, we have that to look forward to. I wanted to mention, as we start to now move into the election phase, that this is open for anyone who's a member and is present can nominate anyone or themselves. It's also fun just to do to a buddy, just to make them have to get up here and talk for 2 minutes. I know it's been done to me. So keep that in mind when Mr. Walsh will explain the election process and what we've got going here, because we do want it to be exciting, because right now we sort of have like a banana republic kind of election going. We've got 3 seats and 2 people running. So let's. Oh, we do have 3 people running. All right, but so still. So if you want to make it interesting, and the people who are running going, shut him up, please come on with this microphone.
Yeah, let them talk.
So I turn it over to you and introduce us to the election
Well,
process.
the normal procedure for the election is as follows. You usually have 2 minutes to talk and present what you want the people to know about you and what you see in the future if you become a member of the board. The people who are in the audience have to be members of SATV to vote officially. So only those who are members can vote. The other people can ask questions or whatever they want to do, but they cannot vote officially. You have to have a thing showing you're a member. That'll be taken care of by a group. They will go out, and after everybody gets a ballot, you will all get a ballot.
Leo and Diane will do that.
Leo and Diane are going to take care of the ballots. Could I see the ballot for a minute?
Oh, here's 2 for you.
Oh, thank you.
And you can vote for one person can vote for 3 people.
Yeah, one person can vote for 3 people, so there's no problem.
There's
Up
3
to
seats.
3 seats. The names are Paul K. Bisson, Eric Smith, and Mary Ann Silva. So some of you people may know them, some of you may not. But the voting privilege are as follows. In order to vote, you must be a valid member of Salem Access Television. That's a blue name tag. As a member, you must be present to vote at the annual meeting. Listed below is the slate of candidates, which I've just read. Please check the name of each candidate for whom you wish to vote, or provide a write-in candidate if it's a valid SATV member. The 3 elected candidates will serve on the SATV Board of Directors for 1 year, and those are members from the group. We have some members who are permanent members of the board, such as myself and other members here. But anyway, that's the procedure that we're going to follow. You going to do that right now?
Sure.
Yes, unless they're.
You also might want to mention that if you vote for 4, your ballot will become
Invalid? Okay.
Right. So
So you're limited to vote for 3.
Yeah, no write-in. Well, actually, you can do write-ins, but you're limited to 3. Thank you for
Here's your
pointing that
ballot.
out.
Here's your ballot.
Even though,
I don't vote.
Oh, you don't vote.
even though on television we were all looking like this for a couple of seconds there, and something happened off stage, but it was okay. Everybody survived.
All right, do you want to give out the ballots now?
So we would like to now invite our first candidate up, and I guess we'll go with Paul K. Bisson, an incumbent board member. And
Oh,
he'll
I
get
do
to speak. Well,
recognize
come on,
him.
where's the applause? That's like the... I tell you, that is the longest walk in your life to do that with no applause.
Now, is he trying to impress us
Who am
because
I
he has
gonna
a
vote
camera in his
for?
hand?
That's my question.
Well, yeah, he's busy. He's always working.
You're still talking. I'm standing up here. You guys are still talking?
It's your time. Go.
That's right. You know, I come up here every year since I've been elected, and I pretty much talk about the same thing. So I thought tonight
I would do the same thing. And that is to basically say that we have a great board of directors, and they all bring intelligence, warmth, and humility to the board. But the people that you vote tonight onto the board are members, and we're your voice. We're the people who speak for you. And the reason why we can do that is because we're down here, just like you. You know, these roll-ins, it took me weeks and weeks and weeks, right, Sal?
Absolutely.
But, we're down here, we've got cameras in our hands, we're making programs, just like you are. So your concerns are our concerns, and that's what we bring to the board. So use your pencil and, check off a check mark next to my name. I greatly appreciate it. And because Kevin no longer has to run, because he's been elevated now he doesn't have to run, he's been there, I will say this for him. I'm Paul K. Bisson, and I approve this message.
Very good. Eric Smith.
Next up. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
right
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
All right, we'll say it together.
Eric
Please, Eric
Smith.
Smith. That we rehearsed it just like that. So glad we spent those hours.
Good evening. I'm really proud to be a member here. It's been a great opportunity. My interest is history. I have a documentary on right now about statues and monuments. Earlier in the year, or last year, I worked with the Salem Academy Charter School and Salem Preservation on a documentary about Pioneer Village, and it was a great success. It was great to see the young people get involved, and I'd like to do some more of that kind of thing. So I'd love to be a member of the board and help steer SATV into the future. Thanks.
Mary Ann Silva.
I'm Mary Ann Silver. I've been a member of SAT for about 5 years, being introduced to it by Leo Joden. Never heard of it before that. I've been involved in producing and editing. I've worked with Mike Cisnowski and Jim Moskowitz on Straight Talk.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was involved in... I need the notes. I get nervous.
So don't they.
Yeah, right there with you.
Sounds of Salem with Jim and Chuck Barton. During the Heritage Days, I worked on the antique cars and the Kids' Night. A couple of years ago, I loved the Kids' Night. That was fantastic. And we worked on the forums for the mayor and the councilor at large, as well as the inaugural ceremony for Kim. Currently, I produce and edit from the corner office with Mayor Driscoll.
Oh, good.
So I do have a lot of experience, and I think I do have something to offer the board at SATV.
There you go.
And she's a woman.
That was unsolicited, by the way.
Well, and unheard. Unfortunately, Linda said that she's a woman also.
Are there any
That's
nominations from the floor by anybody? Seeing none, then I move that the voting is closed, and now you may vote. And actually, there's only 3 members, so we only need...
Well, we keep it official. We have a roll-in to go to now, another video clip, which is, it's the official name. I'll have to check my notes. It is the Year in Review, and it has to do with various clips from all or many of the members. So David, the appropriate button and the appropriate verb.
Heritage Days is a over a week-long event here in Salem where you kind of celebrate the heritage with a lot of different events. To get all these events covered, we as a staff cannot physically do it. So this is about one of the only times where SATV needs the members and producers who do things here. What I do is I set up this whole big whiteboard right in the front of SATV Studios when you walk in.
And then you see the board.
And what you can do is just sign up for different events. I'll have these different events.
The board is up. If you want to do any of the activities to videotape them, come down, sign up, or let them know somehow.
You want to sign up to film that? Just sign your name on there. Come see me.
And you see all the events that are coming up, and frankly, you just get excited.
There's things like a pizza contest where it has all the different pizza places in Salem competing for the best slice of cheese pizza.
I have to say my favorite was Salem's Best Pizza Night. It was my favorite just because I got to interview all the people that own pizza places. It was just a lot of fun for me because there was a lot of energy and a lot of familiar faces, and I just had the most fun at that event.
It has an ice cream scooper bowl, which they have in cities like Boston and stuff like that. How often do you actually get to go tape classic cars getting put in downtown Salem? These are really rare events.
And I thought, okay, what can I do that would be fun that I could actually do perhaps over a weekend? Drag the family, get them involved, and it would be fun for them as well. And I saw on the list numerous wonderful events, and I just automatically picked the dog show.
Some of the volunteers who did some of the heritage events this last year's were Patricia Reed.
And Patrick asked me if I would help him with the street fair, where he would do the camera and I would do my interviews.
Dan Tremblay.
With the Maritime Festival each year, what I do is I basically look at the schedule, see what's going on, see which areas I really like to spend some time and focus on.
Leo Joden.
Salem Senior Recognition Days, a week long of events, free trolley rides, a big kickoff at the Senior Center.
David Moisen.
The first year we did not get the TV coverage we would have wanted. I offered to take this on for Leo because I've been working with him for quite a long time.
Claire White Sullivan.
I think anyone who's ever loved a pet, they link and connect with all the other dog owners in Salem.
And many more.
My name is Angela Christoforos. I'm currently a senior at Salem High School. The summer of my sophomore year, I basically just walked in because I wanted to get volunteer hours for a National Honor Society for my junior year. I plan on majoring in broadcast journalism, and I thought it would be a great idea to come volunteer at the TV station because not only would I get volunteer hours, but it actually pertains to my future.
And it's so funny, when they first say, will you speak to us? But then when they agree, they'll go off. It's amazing.
A Brookhouse tea, a visit from Mel Simons of Old Radio and TV.
I keep the scene as natural as possible. You don't want to take over the show. You want to film as much as you can, get as much as you want it to get, and then take it from there. And I think that's the key to the success here.
Dinner dance.
The most interesting thing, just the whole thing is just so much fun.
Homebound deliveries for the homebound seniors that can't come out and enjoy it.
Each year there's some different things, some different events.
For a lot of dog owners who don't have children, that might be that truly is their best buddy. Maybe even if they have children, even if they are married, that is their best buddy.
We try to find all these different events for the seniors, tape some of these wonderful events, so again, when the seniors, when the events are over, the seniors can sit back and re-look at the events again for about a solid month.
Well, basically, it was just by talking to Dave, Patrick, and Saul, and I told them, they were asking me questions about what I want to do when I go to college, and I told them that I want to major in broadcast journalism, and I like being a TV presence, TV personality, being in front of the camera, and they said, hey, you could interview at these events, and I just started with one event, and then I just kept going with it. And it's funny because now everybody recognizes me, and they're like, you're the girl on SATV.
I have the same respect for us seniors. I really respect their generation, want to help preserve their good moments for television.
Try to get members involved in these different events, not just so we get them covered and put to air, but so they can get practice covering these different things that they usually wouldn't cover. Like, how often do you go and tape a pizza contest?
This year, we had the best coverage of any Heritage Days event. Not because we had the most brilliant team working on one event, but because we had a lot of passionate producers covering numerous events. And someone, took the helm and said, we're going to pull this together, and that was Patrick. And I think that that's a response that Patrick gets that other heads of production have not received in the past. And it's because of the relationship that he has with the producers here.
What you see behind me is the 2007 Haunted Happenings Parade.
It's probably one of the most complicated shoots that we do.
The Haunted Happenings Parade is like, everyone I talk to, like at work, at home, my family, they're jealous. This is a nighttime parade. It's so much fun. You can come down, you decorate the set. I take the day off.
Aside from the annual meeting day each year, it's probably the craziest day here at SATV.
It's a shoot that takes weeks in the planning, and it involves all kinds of electrical, all kinds of cameras. It involves building a set. It involves talent. It involves getting costumes.
We have the portable studio. We have at least 3 cameras, if not 4 cameras. So we need a member to run each camera. 1 camera's on the roof.
I was on the roof about 3 years ago. Oh my God, it was fantastic.
Pat Reed has done the roof and done a phenomenal job in years past. This year, Peter did it.
Peter's been up there, and I think he's been up there by himself.
We've had Peter Tintindo on the roof.
They said, get up on the roof and film the parade. And I was like, okay, I'll just film the parade. Let's do it,
It takes another kind of courage to do the roof.
switch with Peter?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't go up on the roof. That was, Peter was up there. Peter does a very good job. Not only is he a very good singer, he's a very good roof man too.
He's been doing a great job in defying gravity to get those wonderful shots.
I've been taking classes through Salem State College over here, so I figured, it'd be cool to help out the community and get some good footage up here. And it's actually a really nice place to shoot. It's just, it's really cold up here on the time of the year. And, you pretty much freeze and you have to wear like gloves and have like a scarf around your face and big hat on, covers your whole face. But it's a good, I'm telling you, man, it's really awesome to just film down there. It's cool to get all the good shots for them.
And then we have a camera on our hosts. Claire White Sullivan was on that camera this year.
Doing the camera work on the street is enormous fun because you get to see all the personalities.
And our hosts were Kevin Walker and Claudia Schubert. They did a great job.
Claudia Schubert does an amazing job checking into the background because you also have to have a list of who is in what group, and the parade is divided into sections. So the challenge of actually broadcasting that is difficult because you've got Claudia, this year you have Kevin, so they have to be prepared that it's actually going to come in the order that they've been told it's going to come.
Paul K. Bisson was on camera. As well, we did we had David Murray taking kind of a snapshots action photos, which was very important. Janice Manning kind of helping out, just being our go-to woman. Andrew Fritz helping me as my right-hand man.
Well, it is a crazy night. I'm basically here just to help and to help out in any way that they ask me, which is great.
Charlie Walsh doing the on-street interviews. He's a fan favorite every year.
Charlie Walsh in action, or in action when the cameras aren't going, either way, is a pure form of artistic entertainment.
I couldn't have done the set without the help of Leo Joden. And he said, well, no problem, Pat. I'll help you out. So next thing I know, there's 2x4s, drills going on, and before I knew it, the whole set was put up, and I didn't even have all the wires put out yet. David Moisen really helped out with all his work with the graphics and getting everything to go live. The city this year helped us with the light on the road itself, which was a great thing. We got a lot of food donated to us by Engine House Pizza here in Salem. I directed the parade with the help of David Gauthier, coming here to kind of oversee everything because things get a little crazy with the live shoot. I think the parade came out this year better than any other year. This is kind of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, but a little smaller.
Great job, everyone. And of course, I thought I was going to get through the meeting without it being brought up that I was, in fact, the mayor of Munchkinland. I served I served nearly, well, 2.5 terms. I resigned midway through my third amid a scandal. It came out that I lied on my resume that I really wasn't a munchkin. They're miserable people. It's just, as I mentioned in the parade, they just have this deep anger that well, the people from Wonderland, you know, Alice in Wonderland have so much deeper allegory, and they're just the Munchkins are just miserable people, drunks, every one of them.
Can we do the awards now?
Oh yeah, okay, we're getting there.
Do you want to give the results first?
We'll do the awards to the recognition for key volunteers.
Very good.
Key volunteers, and he just took my line. So what we're going to do basically, it's a nice segue from what we just saw. Heritage Day Parade is can't be done without volunteers, obviously, as well as any other big event that we produce can't be done without volunteers. So I just want to make mention, volunteers of the year for this year are David Murray and Bill Legault. We're going to show a roll-in that kind of like gives them their due, and then after that, you wait for my announcement, and I'll have you come up. So, David, please, if you could do the roll-in. Thank you.
I've been married for 22 years. Well, let me get that right, because my wife, she'll kill me. She'll kill me. I've been married for 21 years. We've been together for 23 years. I am a member of Zion Baptist Church in Lynn. I drive a minibus. I'm a people person. I retired from the service, 26 years in the military. I was a soldier for the United States Army. Now I'm a soldier for God. My wife, Doreen Murray, she's the producer, director of Follow Him. Yeah, Follow Him Music Ministry. We did a fundraiser for Drone Raffi, and I was playing the drums for my wife, and they did it here at Salem Access TV. I was fascinated by all the equipment. I became a member. I fell in love with it and been doing it ever since. I do a lot of gospel concerts. I do a lot of music ministry. I have a program, Touching Souls. I do a lot of concerts, so I come here and hear them on Salem Access TV. Being able to touch the souls of those who might not be able to come out to concerts, the sick and the shut in, it's just a phenomenal feeling that I get, you know, just being able to give back to a person's heart, basically, is through music. Right. And I'm able to give that back. Afraid of the unknown, that everybody's afraid of the unknown, but I come on down. Everything here is a challenge, and as you work with it a little bit more, it becomes easier, but the learning process is endless, and that's what makes it so enjoyable, because you'll never get bored. You'll love it. You'll love it. Just give it a shot.
Well, I was born here in Salem, a little more than 40 and less than 50 years ago. Left for 20 years or so when I was in the service, and then living in New Hampshire afterwards. And I've been working here at the YMCA for 7 years, full-time, 3 years come May 1st. I'm the health and fitness director, but that's inclusive of a lot of things. Technically, I'm in charge of adult programming and some children's programming, but really the way a YMCA works is the job is all-inclusive. There's a little bit of everything here. When I first started full-time at the Y here, I found out that the Y had a membership at SATV, but that we weren't using it. So I went down to SATV and asked about it, found out what it took, what it meant, found out what it is we could do down there, decided to take advantage of that, learn to use the cameras, learn to edit, and do our own programming here. We're just using it to bring the YMCA out to the people that don't really know we're here, or maybe don't understand what it is that we do here. Scenes from the YMCA where I just walked around with the camera, showed people exercise and interviewed them, showed kids swim and interviewed them, interviewed the parents, just kind of introduced, again, the members of the Y to the community and introduced the Y itself to the community. I'm amazed that more people and more businesses in the city don't take advantage of it. Because it's really simple. I use the cameras and I edit. If you can send an email, you can use iMovie. If you can send an email, you can edit a videotape. The staff is always there to help. I need help all the time. Patrick is always available to help you out. David's always available to help you out. Sal will help you out also, but you know, he's an important man. He's got a lot of things to do behind that desk. I see him sitting there often, and he always appears to be working, but I don't think I'm fooled. I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, anybody out there can do this. It's easy.
Okay, thank you, and just want people to realize that I had this letter in my folder, the annual meeting folder, which I didn't mail, and I want to, I'm sorry, but we added Paul K. Bisson. You are also a volunteer for this year. Could you please run the roll-in, please?
Good evening. My name is Paul K. Bisson.
I'm your host, Paul K. Bisson. Tonight we have a very special show for you.
I'm Paul K. Bisson. Oh, I'm Paul K. Bisson. I'm Paul K. Bisson.
Hi, everyone. The name is Paul. Hey! Okay. I'll have to get back to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul K. Bisson.
This is Captain Picard.
I'm Paul K. Bisson. Oh, I'm Paul K. Bisson. My name is Paul K. Bisson.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
All right, I'm Paul K. Bisson. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul K. Bisson. I am Paul K. Bisson. I'm Paul K. Bisson. Have a good weekend.
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul K. Bisson?
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul, this is God Bisson is more likely.
Paul K. Bisson.
Paul, I owe you a Godzilla tape, Bisson.
PKB.
Oh, scratch that. Paul, I still owe you a washing of your car, Bisson.
Paul K. Bisson.
Working with Paul, all kidding aside, terrible.
He needs someone to give him a watch so that he can show up on time.
Absolutely terrible.
Paul, I sleep at the studio, Bisson.
I think Paul sleeps with headsets.
I've caught him sleeping quite a few times on the edit bay.
He's editing. He's very drawn into the process. So if you walk into an editing bay and you're quiet and then you say something, he'll jump about a foot out of the chair.
Hey!
Nintendo on the roof.
It's been a pleasure all these years to have known Paul. He's an asset to Salem now when he's helped us in the past. Anytime I've ever asked Paul for any help, he's always been there. And he's also a huge asset to Salem Access Television.
I can't say enough about how much he does to help many different members produce many different styles of programming.
He's the original member. He's the consummate member. He's been around forever. As long as there's been SATV, there's been Paul K. Bisson. He's always willing to help out the staff, to help out the cause.
That's Paul's personality, always pitching in, always helping someone else, always improving the standard, not just of his own work, but of other people's work.
You have to have people like that, people that are willing to step up and give a hand. He's willing to go the extra mile. He's willing to put in a bunch of hours of work in order to help out, to champion the cause of SATV, and that's really invaluable.
He motivates the attitude of everybody around him. Motivation is probably the best testimony to Paul K. Bisson. He can motivate you if you're just in the kitchen having a slice of pizza.
The quality of the programs that Paul produces is spectacular.
He's really, really talented at what he does.
One of the most phenomenal people to ever do the camera work is Paul K. Bisson.
He has the best camera shots.
Paul is unbelievable with his camera work, with his sound.
He's always cracking some jokes. He's always keeping you on your toes. But the thing is, he's always very professional.
He really has contributed some of the better quality programming that we've seen over the years.
What he produces is as high a quality as anybody who gets paid a lot of money to do it.
His standard for himself is so high that he will raise your standard.
You can just learn so much from him just by watching. They understand that cannot be taught.
His work speaks for itself.
Pretty amazing guy to work with. We're lucky to have him here.
If Paul's working with you, you definitely got a good friend on your side.
He just does great, great stuff.
You didn't know about it?
No.
Are you speechless?
There's a lot of inside jokes to that Roland, obviously, but that Roland was produced by Patrick, and I want to thank
Great job,
him.
Patrick.
I don't want to discount the volunteers. Each one is special in their own way. I would like David Murray to come up first and say a few words. David has volunteered for pretty much anything that has been asked to volunteer for. David was in the military for many years, and I said this earlier. You learn you're not supposed to volunteer. I was in the service. You don't raise your hand. David does. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. First, I want to give honor to God for allowing me to be here at Salem Access TV. And this I'm sharing with my wife, my members from my church, and Patrick, Sal, and Dave, and Paul K. Benson, and all of my co-members and producers of Salem Access TV. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. If you didn't know, my name's Patrick. And this next award goes, obviously, to Bill Legault from the Salem YMCA, who does, in his own right, just great work himself. He gets a lot of youths involved from the YMCA down here, and he really just does a bunch of good shows, and I'm always hearing on the street, oh, when's that next exercise show coming on? I say, well, I don't know, I'm going to have to ask Bill. So, Bill, can you please come up here and get your award?
The next exercise show is being held up slightly until we can get Patrick signed to a contract. we're gonna whip him into shape next. So I want to thank Dave and Patrick and Sal for making me look good, because really I couldn't do this without these guys. I'm a slow learner, but I'm getting there. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
All right, last but not least, there is an inside joke. I've been teasing Paul K. Bisson since he's been producing these roll-ins for this annual meeting, hour after hour after hour. How come I'm not getting interviewed? What's this all about? And he just says, oh, you're on the show, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. But words can't express. Ever since I've been here, Paul has been outstanding person, board member, volunteer, friend. I can't thank him enough for everything he does. Come get your letter and come get your award.
They gotcha. Is he going to be speechless?
I'll try to keep it brief this time. First of all, wow, that's I'm not usually surprised. I pride myself on being on the up and up, knowing what's going on around me, especially at this place. And there were a few times where, you know, Patrick would snap a picture, like the one we saw with the pizza. And when he came in with the camera and scared the heck out of me, I'm like, you know, this is unusual for Patrick. This is not his normal craziness behavior. it's a different kind of craziness behavior that's normal for him, but not that. And so I just, chalked it up to not being anything. But this was a real surprise, and I am. Charlie said I'm pretty speechless because I looked at that, I watched that roll-in, and I can tell you a lot of work went into that, and I know this kid, worked on it very hard, and everyone that participated in that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and SATV is like a second home for me. When it opened its doors that first year, I came down here because I was in Lynn, and Lynn was just it was not the equipment was old, and the facility was old, and now everybody's jumping on the PEG bandwagon, with new facilities and all that stuff. But over 10 years ago, we did it, and this board made it happen, and I walked in the door, and I'm still here. So thank you very much.
What was your name again?
That was great. That was a great job.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that I want to thank everyone who took part in that and helped keep it a secret with me.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of hours to get done. I had to Paul was working in one edit bay. I had to hide in another edit bay to kind of get it done. I'd turn it down, look around the hallway to see if he was coming or not. But I just want to thank everyone who was involved. And let's get on with the show.
Well, at this point, we've reached the halfway point. Johnny Carson, 1968. Mr. Walsh, would you please give us the results of the election? We're getting close, don't worry.
Well, I just want to tell you people that this election is really fantastic. When I look at the number of votes for each person, and it must have been the whole audience that voted. I hope everybody was legally voting here. But unanimously, all these three people, Carl K. Bisson, Eric Smith, and Mary Ann Silver were elected unanimously to the position on the board. So thank you very much, people. I guess we're going to have a very good board. Yeah. There you go.
Check your email. The third Wednesday in April. Show up.
That should be quite a meeting.
Well, we've reached the point where I get to say, I want to thank you all for coming. It's been a lot of fun. Mr. Walsh, Mr. Russo, all the people who have participated here and kept the applause going. It was just a thrill to be here. The board, the staff, and any people that I forgot, which I'm sure I did. But before I turn it over to have you adjourn the meeting, I was thinking it's been a long, 4 or 5 hours, and people may not have been paying attention the whole time, or some may like a recap. So we thought we would help you out as long as they're ready in the control room. And again, the appropriate button and the appropriate verb. So this would be like some sort of concept thing, right? So something that like you'd see at the end of the show, and you'll be going around during the whole proceeding, shooting things and getting things from behind, or I guess in the control room. Kind of a sort of an interesting take. Why do I have the feeling I'm supposed to be doing something that I'm supposed to be doing over here? Yes, we are in fact on. Thanks for cueing me in there, Dave.
Welcome everyone here in the studio and at home. Very pleased to give the financial report 2006. That's because in 2006 we made substantial renovations to the studio and added...
Welcome back. Jack Nutting and Ken Weaver. I have to sort of like doing penance. Now we turn our attention next.
It's a resource. We tell every member in an orientation, use us, don't abuse us. And that works really well because that's what we're here for. We're here for everybody to come, learn, and produce programs because that's what public access is all about. Programming.
It's been a great opportunity. My interest is history. I have a documentary on right now about statues and monuments. Earlier in the year, or last year, I worked with the Salem Academy Charter School, and
I loved the kids' night. That was fantastic. And we worked on the forums for the mayor and the councilor at large, as well as the inaugural ceremony for Kim. Currently, I produce an
Annual meeting day each year is probably the craziest day here at SATV.
It's a shoot that takes weeks.
Smaller.
Good job, everyone. And of course, I thought I was going to get through the meeting without it being brought up that I was, in fact, the mayor of Munchkinland. I served.
He's an important man. He's got a lot of things to do behind that desk. He's sitting there often, and he always appears to be working. But I don't think I'm here to tell you. If I can do it, anybody out there can do this. It's easy.
Okay, thank you, and just want people to realize that
Report from our treasurer, and depending upon what he tells us, we may then have a collection. So, in all, we'll get to hit all sorts of points. At this point, I would like. Well, again, thank you all for coming, and I hope it was enjoyable, entertaining, informative, and all those words.
How about a round of applause for Kevin?
You all made it easy with your incessant applause. Well, thank you, Mr. Walsh. Please take us out.
I now adjourn the initial meeting. It's now adjourned, officially.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Please drive safely. If you can't drive safely, we're going to give you like a half-hour
Don't
head
forget,
start.
people, you're going to solicit. Now, don't take me wrong.